It's time for another Q&A. Today is Tuesday, July 29th. I almost said August. Don't need to rush things. The year is going fast enough. And I'm back with three really great questions that have come in on Instagram. First one, what's my favorite cardio? Second, so it's from Joe. Second from Isabella, you mentioned building a better booty. Can you tell me more about that? I would love to because I have indeed built a better booty at 58, 5 years post-menopause. So you absolutely can put on muscle post-menopause. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And last question, which I think is my favorite one, is how do I stay so positive? And it's definitely it's all in the perspective. We're going to talk about that because I wasn't always. And it's a simple shift, but it's simple, but it's not easy. It's something you're always, you know, focusing on. So if you, before I dive into these, if you like my content, if you like my vibe, first of all, I would ask you to please hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. That way you'll get notified every time I post one of these. And it's also showing YouTube that people want more of this kind of content. Content telling you how you can love your body and your life at any age. So we're just going to take these questions right in order. First one from Joe. Joe asks, what's my favorite cardio? Walking. I talk about it all the time. I am passionate about walking. I could shout from the rooftops how much I love walking. And thankfully, there's more and more science out there to back this up, but I don't even care because it's like I'm my own evidence that walking is effective, that walking works, that walking has so many benefits. So, but first of all, what I'm going to say is while my favorite cardio is walking, find your favorite cardio and just do it. But walking is great because you can do it anytime, anywhere. You don't need any special equipment. But like if you absolutely love biking or swimming or whatever, um, go do that. If that roller skating. But I just find I love walking because I truly love it. I'm going to explain some of the reasons why, but also you can do it anywhere. So here's walking. As a student of ancestral health, I know that walking is a natural movement that our bodies are designed to do. Quite frankly, we are designed to walk a lot, to run fast every now and then as necessary, and to lift heavy things as necessary. These are all natural movements. Um, and I love walking because it's so flexible. You can do it anytime, anywhere. It can be part of your, I just got back from a week in Cape May and we went everywhere on foot. I parked my car the first day and I got back in my car the last day. I was not using my car. So walking is such a great way to explore. Walking is so accessible. Walking doesn't require any special equipment, although I will talk a little bit more in the Better Booty post. I'll talk about the shoes that I'm wearing that I think are making it, indeed making a difference. But walking is so flexible. I also like what I like about walking is that it is so adaptable to your fitness level. It will meet you wherever you are. So if you have done nothing in the way of working out, if you have a lot of weight to lose, a lot of forms of cardio and workouts in general could be very challenging. But if you can get up and walk, if you can put one foot in front of the other, that counts. So if from the simplest, like literally getting up and moving your body, to adding challenges like challenging hikes, daily hills. I do hills now daily. Increasing the speed, changing the terrain, walking on surfaces like sand that have a different feel. You can challenging yourself to walk longer, which can certainly enhance the fat burning. There are so many ways you can step up the walks, so to speak. I love walking because best case scenario, it's getting you out in nature. It's getting natural light in your eyes. So natural, which obviously other things can do too. Running, biking, whatever. So natural light in your eyes without sunglasses whenever possible helps to set our circadian rhythms, which in turn helps our sleep, helps to balance our hormones. Being out in nature, seeing, we see so many more colors, we see more depth, we can see further, which is good for actually our vision to focus on things far away instead of always being looking at it, always looking at a screen like I'm doing right now as I'm talking to you. Um, Sounds of nature are regulating to our nervous system. Bird sounds, in particular, are a primal signal of safety. So we feel better when we get out in nature, and a great way to enjoy nature and see it is to walk. And it doesn't mean you need to go for a hike in the middle of nowhere. That's great, but like look for the greenery, look for the growth. When I'm walking in a city, I love hikes out in the middle of nowhere. I love walking through a city. I love all of it. But I'm always looking for the green. Like even in a city, I'm noticing like, oh, look how that's sprouted up through that crack in the sidewalk. That is one resilient plant. So look for that beauty. So many benefits to walking. I personally aim for 15,000 steps a day minimum. For a long time, it was 10. And what I would encourage anybody to do who wants to walk more is to just check the pedometer app that's already built into your phone, see how much you're walking per day on average. And then it'll look to increase that by about 1,000 steps a day for a week, see how that feels, another 1,000 steps, and so on. And then again, it's a great range, even 8 to 10,000 steps a day can be a real tipping point to see some major health benefits. I've upped it to 15,000 steps a day. I just feel really good this way, energized, clear, creative. It's almost like spending more time walking gives me more time in my day. My creativity is boosted, my energy is boosted, my focus, my mental clarity, all of the things. I'm not getting 15,000 steps at once. I'm, fitting them in throughout the day, but always getting my best walk first thing in the morning before other stuff comes up. So, if yes, my favorite cardio is walking, and I could go on and on and on about it. Um, so let's step this right into the question from Isabella about what did I do to build a better booty? So I walked a lot, and there's a little bit more, but really there's three things. So back in 2020, I definitely worked on my booty and made some improvements, which I maintained, but I've made some even bigger gains, so to speak, now. And I'm 5 years. That was actually when I was in menopause, like went through menopause. Like I'm now 5 years post menopause, and my booty is better. So you can build muscle, absolutely. So back during the quarantine, um, which in Pennsylvania we were told was going to be like 2 weeks, and it ended up being for months. But I was like, oh, 2 weeks, like what can I focus on in 2 weeks for 2 weeks? And I was like, I'm gonna build a better booty. So I added in all these hilly walks, which and because I had time on my hands, so my daughter and I would go to this like nature preserve, which is really hilly. And I was like, wow, I can really feel this. And I added a lot of like high steps, like stepping on and off of benches. I haven't really been doing that as much lately, though I might build that back in. And of course, it was increasing my protein and really noticed a difference. So recently, as I'm approaching my 59th birthday, I've decided I want to be in the best shape of my life. Obviously, that can be hard to define, but it's physically, mentally, emotionally, all spiritually. But I'm defining that as seeing really good, healthy muscle definition, optimizing my sleep, being energized, all of the things. And I want to build a better booty. So here's what I'm doing. I have added daily hills into my walking. So that hilly walk that I talked about that I did during the quarantine, I was doing that. I was consistently doing that about once a week with a friend. Now I've added, I'm like, nope, that's not enough. I love the way I feel walking hills. So I found some hills in my neighborhood that I kind of was ignoring. And I added in just like one of them that I committed to doing every morning. Well, then it turned into two and then three. And so the hilly walks make a huge difference. Again, you need the protein. So I am consuming on at least 1 gram of protein from real food, beef, fish, eggs, some chicken and turkey, sometimes some low fat dairy per pound of ideal body weight. And I'm at my ideal body weight, in my opinion. So I'm getting protein from real food every single day. If you're not giving your body that protein that it needs, and the quality of the protein absolutely matters, you're not going to see what you want to see. And maybe when we were younger, it didn't matter as much, but as we get older, our bodies, when we're younger, our hormones do some of the like heavy lifting, so to speak, with the muscle, building muscle. As we get older, we need the amino acids from real food to activate muscle protein synthesis. So I would be aiming for at least 30 grams of protein per meal. But then something else that I've done with my walking, with my hilly walks, is, and I should have grabbed them out of the closet to show you, but I wear barefoot shoes, as in toe shoes. No, not all the time, because I'm a fashionable girl and I'm also a short girl who likes some height. But for my morning walks, I wear barefoot shoes. So I'm going to link the brand I wear is Paluva. Love, love, love them. I will put a link in the caption if you want to check them out. Um, and I have noticed, so there is actually science behind something to do with your big toe, like actually using your big toe when you walk, which you're using everything when you walk in barefoot shoes, activating your glutes. When I first started wearing them a couple years ago, I was like, I feel like I'm getting a better butt wearing these shoes. And now that I'm really wearing the heels and really wearing them consistently, yes, I am. Something else I've added more recently, just in the last 90, not 90 days, a month and a half, the last like 45 days, is I have added some daily kettlebell swings. And I do believe that's helping as well, but it's really the hilly walks and the protein have made a huge difference in my booty, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of this booty. So last question. Actually, this ties in with being proud of my booty. How do I stay so positive? By focusing on positive things. So let's talk about our health for a minute and our fitness and the way we look, which are all tied in together. If you are always looking for things to pick apart, you're going to see more of them. But if you're looking for things to celebrate, you're going to see more things to celebrate. It's not about burying your head in the sand. We're always going to be aware. We can be aware of the things we want to work on and improve and celebrate where we are. We can be a masterpiece and a work in progress, the saying. So anyway, I stay so positive by looking for positive things. I stay so positive because I believe that everything is working out for me. And I didn't always feel that way. And I used to feel like things were happening to me. Why is this happening to me? Now, and things do happen. We can't control what's going on around us. We can't control other people's behavior. What we can control is our own behavior. And we can control how we respond to everything. And it can be as simple as taking a moment to breathe before you respond to something. It can be your word choice. The other day, Sunday, I'll be the first to admit I was a little tired and cranky. A lot of driving coming home from my trip. And I'm not that person who's like, oh, vacation's over, life is miserable. Not at all. But I had a lot to do on Sunday. I was physically feeling a little tired. And then I was getting frustrated. There was some frustration, some things coming up. And I started to say to my sister that I'm exhausted. And I realized, no, Elizabeth, you're not exhausted. You're a little tired. You're a little tired. So even changing the way you talk to yourself, looking for things to celebrate. The biggest impact is going to be the way you start your day, not the way you end your day. So the more you can do to connect with yourself, to fill yourself up first before you start connecting with the rest of the world, social media, texts, emails, news, God forbid, like focus on you, fill yourself up. I have an alarm, the alarm that goes off. I get up at 4 a.m. I'm not saying you need to, but I love my quiet morning time. So I get up at 4. And when I get up to turn off my phone, which is in the bathroom, so I have to get out of bed, the screen of my phone says, how good can it get today? I can wake up, oh, do I really want to get up right now? I see that, how good can it get today? And I start asking myself that question. Asking questions like that, especially when we're getting out of bed and our brain is in that theta receptive state, It is training our subconscious to look for good things. I'm not saying like, how can I make this much money today? Not that that would be a bad thing to ask, but I'm just, how good can it get? My brain is now looking for good things all over the place. Asking questions like, how is it, and or like, how could this be the best day ever? How could this be the best thing that happened to me? Especially when something happens that doesn't seem that good, flip it around. How can this help me? How could this situation be good for me? What can I learn? What can I share? How can I help others? How can I show up better? So, like, you just learn to, now I call myself a silver lining girl, but I wasn't always like that. I was so quick to blame other people, other, circumstances. And when you start to realize that we are creating our own reality every single day. We are creating our lives. So wherever you are in your life, like you got yourself there, and yes, some shitty stuff might have happened. I am not, listen, I don't speak publicly and openly about some of the things that I've been through. We've all been through some crazy, challenging times. And I think that's so, and I honestly believe, since we have to feel this to feel this. We have to know we can be down here. We could have been down here, and we're still here. So we can get ourselves up here. So that's it for today. If you have questions for my next Q&A, they mostly come in on Instagram and Facebook, but let's get some comments going here on YouTube. And if you, again, please hit the subscribe button. Feel free to share these videos. Let's get the word out. You can love your body and your life at any age. This is 58, at least for a few more weeks. No filters. And I hope you have the most amazing day.